What up, world? Yeah, and just I was looking at these paintings, right? Like I was saying, there's definitely like a supernatural to this room over there, right? And in like one of my videos, I was saying, oh, see this sign right here, the skull and crossbones. Right here is a door, it's a door. And when I was a kid, how I think the door got there is my dad's bed used to be right here, right? And right directly where the door is, this little bureau right here. That's where Dad used to keep his nudie mags, his porns, right? Because he never drank or did drugs or anything like that. And I had some weird visions about that. And my mom had the same exact visions that I forgot about them until all of a sudden one day I was thinking about it. And like actually, God brought it up to me. But I noticed like my mom, she all these paintings are like all like tied into this, like in a way. Like see that, you know, I noticed this one right here made sense. You know what that is? That's my dad, my brother, and my sister. My mom painted that about 15 years ago. No, probably 20 years ago. And it was meant to be me and my sister, but I would definitely say it's my dad, my brother, and my sister. Because since the old man left, all of these people are no longer in my life. You know, bad, bad things. I don't really want to talk too much about it. Well, anyway, it's funny. The worst thing you can ever do to me is call the cops on me, or even suggest it. And they both, you know, threaten to call the cops on me. You know, even if it was just like something stupid. Once you say that c word to me, where you're just somebody I used to know. I don't. I mean, I'm a good guy. I don't get in trouble. I avoid. I'm I'm 99% more you know an asset to humankind than most cops are. But I just don't like cops. I was raised that way, and just like the mob, or people in my background, we just do not like the law. I was raised, a snitch is like the worst thing in the world. Like I would probably, I'd probably rather you stab me in the throat than call the cops on me. To be honest, I'd probably forgive you more if you stab me in the throat and I live. I'd probably forgive you. If you call the cops on me, chances are I won't ever. Just just how I am. Just never liked the cops. Never respected them. Never just it's how I was taught. Just there's no they're over there and we're over here. That's why I live down a mile long driveway. My dad was the same way. We're law-abiding citizens and shit. And I respect the police if if you do need them, but I just, it's just how I am. Either way. Yeah, it's funny because it's funny how both of them, like, well, like I said, their possession is real. Because what's the chances of them both in like the matter of 2 months saying that to me after all these years? They knew that one thing that would literally make them so they're not in my life ever again. It's kind of weird. They could have said, like I said, they could have stabbed me in the throat, and I'd probably forgive them. As of 4 months ago, I probably would have died for these people. I would have. I would have died for them. They're my family. And I wasn't really tight with them guys. The only one that was in my life was my dad. And then once he died, I figured I'd had a brother and a sister, and I'd try, trying to mend things. If anything, it went the opposite way, just because of this negative energy here, this negative whatever comes in and out of here. All right. But yeah, and I think it opened up right there. It's funny. My mom, I always looked at that painting and thought, skull, crossbones, snake, and books. Like, what the books, But it makes sense though. And it just so happened that I hung it right there. I didn't think anything of it. I just, when I moved down here, because this is my dad's old room, Once he died, I moved down here. And then my mom, she has, she has, some people call it mental problems. It's not. It's real. It's real, But I think this picture right here says it all. She said she has voices in her head right there. It makes sense. And see these paintings I just put down here. I don't know. I didn't go and get these to tell this story or anything. They just been down here, And I'm literally sitting on the edge of the bed, and all of a sudden, they're all making sense, right? And then the guy I work with, Matt, he comes in here one day and he's like, "Holy shit!" He's like, "Dude," he's like, "that is literally a brook behind his house with a tree going across it, identical. My mom, you would have thought she took a picture of it and came back and painted it. But this painting's probably 20 years old, and she's never even been there. Pretty crazy, huh? Same as that one over there, full moon. Just so happens every time there's a full moon, I go through transformations and stuff like that. That's when full moons are real spiritual. Last time, I noticed New Year's, right? My friend Krista was going in the hospital, and I felt so weak and just not right. And it turns out she died, and I could feel her energy, kind of sad, And I just found out, yes, the day before that she died, and it's wow, that's why I was feeling that way. I can actually feel her, I knew something wasn't right. And I couldn't put my finger on it, and it was sad because she used to be a Christian, a Catholic, and she got transferred over to Wiccan, a lot of women, as they get older or whatever, they like to believe what, and when it comes to religion, right, there's the true ones, and then there's the ones that people just want to believe. And unfortunately, for some people, the real ones are the real ones. It doesn't matter what you believe or not, they're real, And see this one right here, this painting, when I first found out God was real, all right, I had a bad back. It used to take me an hour and a half to put my shoes on. A guy like me, I call it out to pasture. I might as well just hang it up, 30, I think I was 35 or something like that. And I never believed in God or anything like that. And yeah, like I said, my back was toast. I was a tree climber. I got hurt real bad. But yeah, all of a sudden I prayed to God, and next thing I know, my back was healed, instant. That's why I actually have healing capabilities now. Whether I kind of, that's why I'm making this video. Is I need to. I have a feeling I don't know, something's telling me that God, I have a lot of supernatural abilities, and I've been just kind of locked in this house for the last 20 years, just me and Dad, and my mom. My mom just she's kind of just a lady that she's my mom, but see, me and my dad were farmers, and so she's just kind of a lady that was in the house, kind of, he drove around, I didn't really, she's my mom around, hey mom, but that's it, I mean, I'm not now it's I'm kind of taking care of her. It's a pain in my fucking ass. I'll tell you what. This painting right here, I wouldn't doubt if that's me in another 50 years. I don't know what it is right now. Maybe it's me in the past. Maybe it's me in the future. I don't know. I believe that we are reincarnated. I believe that the Vatican I believe there's a lot of scriptures and religions out there that I see. I was a Christian. I'm a Christian, whereas I believe Christ. I follow Christ. I follow God. I believe you can't go wrong following Jesus. Whatever you stood for. Whatever you. It's just he taught people how to live. And I think he's the greatest man in the world. And whether you believe in him or not, I do. I think everybody should follow Jesus. Just even if you, whether you believe in him or not, you just cannot go wrong. With following Jesus. He came to earth to lead people to God. And that's why I have pictures of Jesus my mom painted, and that's like me right there. Because it's funny because I always say I'm like the only person I've ever heard of that's has abilities like I do, or but better is him. And I'm not gonna get into that right now. Whether you believe it or not. If you really want to know, you can ask me. I try not to talk about it too much because, for one, if people, it's went pretty bad for people. The saying, "Don't shoot the messenger." I've learned that when people mess with me, when people mess with me, I have to pray for them. It's pretty sad, I was worse at one time, to be honest. And, I was an atheist, If anything, I was a Satanist, to be honest, Freaking hell on wheels, I was an atheist, but yet I had supernatural abilities, basically, And I was evil. I just, I was an iron worker, an alcoholic, you name it, I was a scum. I was scum. I mean, I wasn't. Yeah, I was scum, But then right here, this painting, it's funny because I watch YouTube for some reason where they, these women, they all, read the tarot cards and stuff. I'm not into that, but I get messages in them. And I use my discernment. And whether they're Christian or whether they're, talking about, the universe or whatever, God sends me messages and those. And only I know how to, which ones are for me, which ones aren't. And, when you know, you know. And then these pictures right here. It's funny because, see this over here? See those, like, doorknobs where the white knobs are? At nighttime, that thing will sit there and open up and close, and stuff like that. Most people would get bugged out by it. Me, it's just normal to me. To be honest, the supernatural world is more normal to me than, at this point, it's funny when when I start talking about this stuff and they like don't believe me. To me, to them, I sound crazy. But to me, not believing all the, miracles and all that stuff is insane to me because it's just part of my life. You know what I mean? I see. The only one that I know that probably that man right there. I communicate with God all day, every day. We're like best friends. So. You can't just pray to God once or twice and be like, oh, nothing happened, A lot of people forget that. But, I'm sorry. I'm trying to pace myself and not sound like an idiot after I watch the other videos, I really didn't even want to film those or post them. I just did because I think I should. I think I need to. But anyway. Now these were in that drawer. See, this thing's alive. This whole room's alive. This is my old dad's room and shit. There's energies in here. There's everything that man's ever owned. It's like his prized possessions are mine. Because me and him, what was his was mine. What's mine is his. The only thing that's gone is our guns, because the cops came in and took my fucking his guns. I didn't take my guns because I'd probably be in prison. I don't have guns. Anyway, and see this right here? That's the old farmhouse. That's actually down the road. That's where my dad and my family grew up. It's funny because these guys are still lingering around. That's what I mean about being alive. This right here, that's my grandpa. He was more of a dad to me than my dad was, to be honest. And me and my dad were more like, I never really thought of him as a dad. He was more of like a guy that, when I was a kid, he was my dad. But we worked together, I don't even think we didn't like each other. We just, we respected each other. And we live on a farm, man. It takes us to make this place run, And he was a good dude. He was a good dude, but he wasn't, he was an honest guy. He was, it's hard to, he was a good dude. He was a good dude. Right? He's not here no more. So, and there's my grandfather. And see that little girl right there? That's my aunt / sister, kind of. My grandmother died. All right, back on this farm, my dad ran the farm, and my grandfather and my uncles, his 3 brothers, were iron workers. And Dad stayed on the farm pulling udders till he was 40 years old, right? And my mom boarded a horse over there or something. Or no, she used to go over to ride horses over there. That's, you got a guy kind of like me, never leaves the property. All of a sudden, boom, woman shows up, Unfortunately for him, it was my mother. Poor bastard. And he went and bought her a horse, and he was just like, ooh, woman, And got tired of pulling udders and went ironworking himself, And this farm burnt down, but that thing was rebuilt. And yeah, so there's the cows. There's the farm. This is right down. This is actually, some of this is right on this land, I don't know if this land is like Native Americans. Oh, sorry. I wish I knew that. Anyway, this girl right here, my grandmother and my grandfather used to adopt children. It's a thing that farms used to do. For one, it because the woman on the farm was the housewife. They didn't. My grandmother, back in the day, a woman didn't work. They worked in the house. And that was the way they made income. And the farms were meant to have lots of people. My grandfather didn't want kids. He wanted an army. That's pretty much it. He didn't want kids. He wanted an army. And that's how it was back then. But anyway. But then my grandmother died, and my grandfather. So she came and lived with us, and I didn't even know she was my aunt until I got older, and because I had an older sister and her, so as I got older, then I realized that she's my aunt instead. She calls myself her. I always call her like a sister. A couple years older. No, she's deaf, and my sister and mother, they can speak sign language like fluent. Like just talking to us. Talking English. Except for they sign with their hands. Funny. Each one of these tractors, I have one of these. I have that one out in the garage, right there. That's a 730. And see this bulldozer? I have 2 of these outside, all restored. Pretty neat, huh? And then, let's see. Oh, there's the old man. There's my dad right there when he's younger, I think. Yeah, I think so. Maybe not. I don't know. It was kind of fucking small. My dad was pretty jacked. Yeah, that might be him. I don't know. Doesn't really look But either way, yeah, these pictures are all in there, and I notice that thing keeps opening and closing. And see the old corn chopper? My dad actually sent a finger through that thing. That's funny. Yeah, it's always missing a finger. Luckily me, out of all the jobs I had, I never lost a digit. And, there's my mom taking care of the chickens back in the day when they started introducing hawks and eagles. They used to come over and attack our chickens. And this is another story. This makes sense, but I don't want to talk about it on here. Not right yet. And then yeah, there's a picture of the farm my mom just painted, you know. And like I said, she has voices in her head. And then I think this is Catholic or something. I don't know. And then you got there's also some pictures in there of my old man and his brothers at their first communion. Kind of funny. And then there's my man Jesus looking over some praying food. You know? And then there's a horse. My mom was just talking about him this morning. Her horses that Dad used to buy her. Spoiled little brat. Spoiled bitch. Painting with a doll. I'm just making a video because kind of weird how it's weird how she painted these and they all just like kind of tell a story in there. But anyhow, thanks for boring. Sorry for boring you.